Hello everyone, I'm Nick.
And I'm Danielle.
And welcome to our kitchen.
Have you been wondering how to be healthy, fit, and stay on a budget during all times of the year, and especially in a quarantine? Well, we're going to show you just how to do that today.
All right, let's get started. So for these meals, we're gonna have three types of food. We're gonna have our meats and our carbs and our vegetables. So first, starting off, we have 85% lean ground turkey. And we have chicken tenderloins, basically chicken breasts already cut up for us, $1.99 a pound, which is an amazing deal at Sprouts. We have the chicken rub from Ralph's, which is gonna go on the chicken. And then we have the rosemary, olive oil, salt, and pepper, which is gonna go on the other chicken. And on the turkey, we have taco seasoning, which is also a Kroger Ralph's brand. And for the grains, we have brown rice medley with harvest grain, both are from Trader Joe's. We're gonna mix both together. Usually we'll do them separate, but today we're gonna change it up and mix it up. And then we have our starches, which is mini potatoes. We're gonna chop those up and put them in the oven with some salt, pepper, and olive oil. And for our vegetable selection, we have Brussels sprouts, rice cauliflower, organic mixed veggies, wild mushrooms, and eggplants and zucchini and squash. So a lot of different options here. And this is the secret to it all. We have our meals here. We have 8 of each. So these are Danielle's, the small ones on the left. These are mine, the large ones on the right. We have 8 of each. And so you can make enough meals for 4 days and then freeze the rest. So this is what everything looks like in total. In this bag, we are going to season the chicken right now. Also guys, if tenderloins aren't on sale, $1.99 is a great deal, but sometimes you are stuck with the big chicken breasts and they can also be $1.99 a pound. In that case, we cut them in half, sometimes in 3s, and use this mallet to smash them on a hard and indestructible surface. So on your countertop lightly with a plastic bag underneath, and we'll smash them up to make them nice and even. And again, stick them in the bag with the rub and some olive oil and shake it up and let it sit for about 3 hours. Okay, so for the chicken rub and for the olive oil, I will first put everything into a gallon-sized bag. Put a little bit of olive oil just to surround it, make sure everything sticks and just adds a little more moisture. And this is about 1/3 of a bag left, so we're gonna do 1/3 of a bag per gallon, and this is for 1 packet of the chicken. So we're gonna stick it all in there so it looks like a lot, but then once we seal it up, we're gonna knead everything together. So just spend some time kneading, making sure that everything is even, and you just keep going. Now we're gonna go onto the second bag, and again, a little bit of olive oil, just keeps that moisture in and tastes good and it's nice and healthy for you. We're gonna use some full rosemary and shake it in, just use your discretion. And then some salt, same thing, just a dash of that. And then pepper, we're just gonna grind some of that right in there. That takes a little bit longer. Just grind it even at the top. It doesn't really matter because once you mix everything together, it comes together. So just like that. And now we're gonna seal it up, and we will do the same thing for the second one. And then just mix it all together, knead everything in, get it nice and good. All right, so we have our food cooking here. We have the cauliflower and mushrooms, a little bit of water, some salt and pepper and olive oil, and we're just gonna mix them around, make sure that they're nice and good here. A little bit of water also just to saute them and leave the lid on. So we're gonna let that cook for a little bit. And then we have the grains and rice mixture. I always do 4 cups of grain, 7 cups of water, cook it on high, and then as soon as you start to see it boil up and start to really get going, make sure you mix it around and then put it on a low heat. So I put it on 2 because it was already boiling, and put a lid on it for about 20 to 30 minutes and let it sit. And then for these, we have the potatoes with rosemary, salt, Himalayan sea salt, and ground up pepper with a good amount of olive oil, all mixed together, and we want to make sure it's a nice even coat. We put the oven to 375, so we're gonna plop those in with the vegetables, which again, Himalayan sea salt, pepper, and olive oil, and we're gonna put those in at the same time for about 30 minutes and see where we go from there. All right, and now it's grill time. So we have Pam Grilling high heat, non-flammable grilling spray. So we just turn on the grill to high, and we're just gonna go around. You get a little bit of flames, but not as much as you would with something like olive oil that'd be a lot higher. So we're gonna put this down. And now while this is on high, we're gonna let it simmer a little bit. We're gonna take the chicken. So this is round 1. of the chicken tenderloins, and just take a fork here and just utilize as much space as you can on your grill. So I just always scoot it to the side. I try to have a nice even heat. As soon as I let this heat up a little bit, I'll take it back down and take it to about medium. So about, again, 350 to 400 degrees is kind of your sweet spot. And we also have, while I finish putting these on the grill, we also have a couple of different tools here. We have this thermometer. It's amazing, on Amazon. So chicken should always be cooked at 165 degrees. So this was like $12, I think. It's so awesome. Once you have it going, you just put it in. So we're gonna put all these on and have 7 minutes with the lid closed, 7 minutes, and we're gonna let it cook, flip it over, and then 5 to 7 more minutes, and then just make sure it's at 165, and you're good to go. So chicken breast can be a little tough, but it's easy when you have a thermometer. All right, so we did 7 minutes on one side, and then we flipped it. We did 5 minutes on the other. Again, medium heat, 400 degrees. So last step, we just turn on our thermometer, and we're gonna stick it in and make sure everything's at 165 degrees. So I always go at a diagonal, and this one, so yeah, it's 180, so well done. So some of these, I think this one was at 175. So these are all pretty good. Right, so the chicken is done. This is Danielle's favorite, so we made a lot of this. We have a smaller amount of the rosemary and salt and pepper olive oil chicken, and that is now on the grill with the eggplant, which also has olive oil and salt and pepper, Himalayan sea salt and cracked pepper. So we're gonna leave this on for 7 minutes, shut it, and then come back, flip it over, 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're good to go.
All right, so we've been cooking the turkey over here. We stir it often, and we put a lid on it at a certain point just to let it cook thoroughly. We came back and it was actually pretty close to done, so we just mashed it up a little bit, and it is actually ready to throw on our taco seasonings. We used 1 large turkey container, so sometimes we'll do 2 smaller ones too, depending on what they have a sale on. And then we're just gonna open up the taco seasonings, and we use 2 packets for this amount. So you can do a taste test, but it tastes pretty good when you have this amount of this Kroger reduced sodium taco seasoning. It'll change your life. So we just put it on. I have the turkey on low heat at this point, and we're just gonna mix the taco seasoning into the turkey. And get it everywhere at the same time. So once you're done mixing everything, I just turn off the heat, and we're gonna let it sit with the lid on it to just saute and have the flavor saturate into the turkey while we finish up everything else. So our grains and our turkey are done, and we've already put the cauliflower rice and mushroom mix into our Tupperwares in the bottom. So here's my 4, Nick's 3. We're gonna just scoop 1 full scoop into mine, and then we're gonna do 1 scoop of the turkey into the top. Kind of just let it sit. You can like top it off a little bit depending on how much you want, but we usually fill my Tupperware all the way to the top. And we're gonna do the same thing for Nick's. We're gonna take 1.5 scoops of the grains. So just about that much. And then we're gonna take the turkey and top it off. Just get it all.
It smells so good.
Evened out. And then that's it. Giving them a little extra there. And we just go around and do all of the meals. This is half of it, and then we're gonna do the other half with the chicken.
All right, so we are finished here. We have the turkeys all done. So now we have the squash and Brussels sprouts that we're gonna start with for the vegetable. So we're just gonna line that as kind of a bottom layer there. Oh, there we go, so that's perfect. And now we're gonna get some potatoes. We're gonna put it on as our carb. So you can kind of just eye it on how much you want, but this is generally what we do. And then we're gonna do 1 piece of chicken. If it's a smaller piece, you can do 2. So these are chicken tenders, so I'm gonna do 2 of them for my meals. And then that is a completed meal. You can also mix and match. You can do some with rice, so you already have your carb in there. And so you're gonna do zucchini, squash, and some Brussels sprouts. And then also, just to mix it up, we can take the grilled eggplant that we just took off the grill here, put a couple of them on, and then I personally like these chickens, and maybe I'll do one of these to mix it up. So you're really mixing up flavor here, and it's a good amount of food and a lot of fun, and so you can play around with everything you got. For Danielle's meals, we're gonna do a squash. We'll do 2 squashes, do a couple Brussels sprouts here. There we go. And we're gonna do a good scoop of potatoes. So it looks like that. Then Danielle really likes this chicken, so we either go for a big piece or we do 2 smaller ones. So this is a little bit of a smaller chicken tender, so we're gonna do 1 and then go for another smaller one here and 2. So that's usually what we do for Danielle, and then we'll garnish it with an eggplant.
So we're finished, and this is what it looks like. We have 8 meals each, so both of us have lunch and dinner for the next 4 days straight. And we also have leftovers. We're gonna eat dinner from the food left over, and we will still have extras on top of that. So this is an incredible way to not have to cook every night and have delicious meals. All right, thank you so much for cooking with us. We hope you enjoy these meals and stay healthy and happy.
God bless you.